Good morning, students. My name is Syed Nazir Ahmad, lecturer in Zoology. Today, we start the class Animal Kingdom, Animalia. Animal Kingdom, Animalia classification. First, Kingdom Animalia. Kingdom Animalia. Kingdom in Animalia, the eukaryotic animals, multicellular and heterotrophs are included. In Kingdom Animalia, eukaryotic, multicellular, heterotrophic animals are included. Next, then, they have specific body plan. Here, cell wall is absent and photosynthetic pigments are absent. Cell wall absent and photosynthetic pigment are absent. Next, then, here tissues are formed except in peripherance. Sponges. Tissues are formed except in sponges. So, in Kingdom Animalia, eukaryotics, multicellular, heterotrophic animals are included. Eukaryotic means nucleus is present here. Next, multicellular means the body is made up of with so many cells, and heterotrophs, they depend for food on plants and other animals. So, they are eukaryotic, multicellular and heterotrophic animals are included in Kingdom Animalia. In Kingdom Animalia, specific body plan is there. Specific body plan is here. Here, cell wall is absent, photosynthetic pigments are absent. Photosynthetic pigment, for example, chlorophyll, like that, are absent. Next, then, here tissues are formed except in sponges. Next, they have organ and organ system body organization. In some tissues are formed, in some organs are formed, in some organ systems are formed. So, in Kingdom Animalia, in some tissue body organization is there, in some organ level body organization is there, in some organ system level body organization is there. Next, here in this animal, nutrition is halozoic nutrition. Is occur. Here, solid type food material taken into the inside the cell or inside the alimentary canal, that food will be digested inside the cell or inside the alimentary canal. That type of nutrition is called as a halozoic nutrition is there here. Next, then, in these animals, the nerve cells and sensory cells are formed. They are motile. Next, here reproduction is occur by means of sexual and some in asexual reproduction is occur. In Animalia, from phylum Porifera to Mammalia, class Mammalia animals are included. From Porifera to, these are lower grade animals, they are primitive animals. From from porifera to and mammals are included. This is the introduction to Kingdom-Animalia. In Kingdom-Animalia, eukaryotic, multicellular, heterotrophic animals are included. Next, they have a specific body plan. Cell wall is absent. Photosynthetic pigments are absent. Photosynthetic pigments are absent. Next, here in some tissue level body organization is there, in some organ level body organization is there, in some organ system level body organization is there. Next then, here halozoic type nutrition is occur. Next then, here nerve cells and sensory cells are well developed here. Next then, here they show motility. They move one place to another place except preference. Next then, here reproduction is mainly occur by sexual reproduction, but in some asexual reproduction is occur. Next then, classification of Animalia. Classification of any Kingdom-Animalia. Next, the Animalia further classified into two sub-kingdom based on presence and absence of the tissues. In some, tissues are not formed. In some, well-defined tissues are formed by this character. This Kingdom-Animalia further classified into two sub-kingdoms. Two sub-kingdoms. One, the Parazoa. Next, the second one is a Eumetazoa. First one is a Parazoa. Second one is a Eumetazoa. Next, the Kingdom-Animalia further classified into two sub-kingdom. One is Parazoa, second one is a Eumetazoa, based on presence and absence of the tissue. In some tissues are not formed, in some defined tissues are formed. So, first Parazoa. In Parazoa, they are multicellular animals. These are multicellular animals. They are primitive animals, multicellular animals. The body is made up of with so many cells, but well-defined tissue are not formed. Well-defined tissues are not formed. So, this body is formed with so many cells. The aggregation of the cells, the body is formed. But all the cells are not same in structure, shape, and function. That group of cells is not called as a tissue, but the body organization somewhat advanced than the protozoan, that is unicellular animals. In unicellular animals, the body is made up of with a single cell. The single cell perform all metabolic activities which are occur in multicellular animals. Next then, here the body, in body so many cells are there. They are loosely aggregated. But there is there lack coordination among the cell, because in this animal sensory nerve cells are absent. For that they lack coordination. But the body organization is somewhat advanced than the unicellular animals. So this type of body organization is called as a cellular grade metazoans. Cellular grade metazoans. Cellular grade metazoan, because here well-defined tissues are not formed. But the body is made up of with so many cells. These all the cells which are present in the body of the animal are not equal in shape, structure, and function. That group of cells are not called as a tissue. So, the body is somewhat advanced than the unicellular animals. So, this type of body organization is called as a cellular grade metazoans. In this subkingdom Parazoa, one phylum is included. One phylum is that is a Porifera. Porifera means pore-bearing animals. Porifera means pore-bearing animals. For example, Cycon. This is about subkingdom Parazoa. Parazoa or multicellular animal. The body is made up of with so many cells, but all the cells which are present in this animal all are not equal in a group of a cell. All are not equal in size, shape and structure and function. So, this type of group of cell are not called as a tissue, but the body is somewhat advanced than the unicellular animals. This type of body organization is called as a cellular grade metazoans. They lack coordination because here the sensory and nerve cells are not developed. Next, in this subkingdom, one phylum is included. That phylum is called as a Porifera, example Cycon. Next, second one is a Eumetazoa. In Eumetazoa, well-defined tissues are formed. Well-defined tissues are formed. True tissue animals. Here, they are called as a tissue grade metazoan. Tissue grade metazoan. In this tissue grade metazoans, symmetry is there. In some radial symmetry is there. In some bilateral symmetry is there. Depending upon the symmetry, the Eumetazoa further classified into two grades. One is a radiata, second one is a bilateria. In radiata, radial symmetry is there. Radial symmetry. Radial symmetry is there. Next then, in this animal, during developmental stages, two germ layers are formed. So, this grade is also called as a diploblastica. Diploblastica. In this diploblastica, two phyla are included. One is a phylum Cnidaria, and second one is a phylum Ctenophora. Example for Cnidaria is a Hydra, Obelia, Phycelia, Velella, Porpita, like that. Next, Ctenophora, example Pleurobranchia. That is about radiata. Bilateria. Grade bilateria. In this bilateria, bilateral symmetry is there. Bilateral symmetry is there. During developmental stages, three germ layers are formed. So, it is called as a triploblastica. Triploblastica. During developmental stages, three germ layers are formed. That's why they have triploblastic nature. They are ectoderm, endoderm. In between ectoderm, endoderm, mesoderm is formed. So, they have in bilateral symmetrical animals, during developmental stages, the blastophore is modified as mouth. In some, the blastophore is modified as anus. Depending upon this character, this grade bilateria further classified into two divisions. One is a protostomia. Second one is a deuterostomia. Deuterostomia. ఇక్కడ దాకా పోవచ్చు కదా, deuterostomia. Next, first proterostomia. Proterostomia. This is a gastrula stage. This is a ectoderm, this is endoderm. This is archenteron. This archenteron open out through a pore. That pore is called as a blastopore. Blastopore. This blastopore is modified as a mouth. Blastopore is modified as a mouth. So these animals are included under division protostomia. In deuterostomia, this blastopore is modified. This is blastopore. Blastopore is modified as a anus. This is modified as a mouth. So in deuterostome, the blastopore is modified as anus. After that, the mouth is formed in the opposite side. So these triploblastic animals or bilateral symmetric animals further divided into two divisions. One is a protostomia, second one is a deuterostomia. In protostomia, during developmental stages, blastopore is modified as mouth. Next, in deuterostome, the blastopore is modified as anus. After that, the mouth is formed in the opposite side. That is about protostomia and deuterostomia. In protostomia, division protostomia, in some coelom is absent. In some coelom like structure is there. In some true coelom is there. Depending upon this character, this proterostomia further classified into three subdivisions. One is a acoelomata. Second one is a pseudocoelomata. Third one is a Kcjc. Depending upon the presence and absence of the coelom, this proterostomia division is further classified into three subdivisions. One is a acoelomata, second one is a pseudocoelomata, third one is a Kcjc. Here first acoelomata. In acoelomata, when you see the cross section of one acoelomates, this is a body wall, this is a gut wall. In between body wall, gut wall, there is no space. This space is occupied by parenchyme tissue. This space is occupied by parenchyme tissue. So here coelom is absent. Solid body plan is there. Here solid body plan is there. This tissue, this is a mesenchyme tissue or parenchyme tissue, is origin during developmental stages from mesoderm. So these animals, are called as acoelomates. The animals these animals are included under subdivision acoelomata. In acoelomata, in between body wall and gut wall, this is a body wall. This is a body wall. This is a gut wall. In between body wall and gut wall, there is no space. This space is occupied by parenchyme or mesenchyme tissue. So here solid body plan is there. solid body plan is there. This parenchyma tissue is origin from mesoderm. In this subdivision, Coelomata, one phylum is there. One phylum. That phylum is called as a Platyhelminthes. Platyhelminthes. Next then, Pseudocoelomata. Here, coelom is there. Body cavity is present, but this body cavity is not lined by mesoderm layers. Here, this is a body wall, this is a gut wall. In between body wall and gut wall, a space is there, body cavity is there. But this body cavity is not surrounded by two mesoderm layer. Only one mesoderm is there. This mesoderm is occupied inside the body wall, but the gut wall is not surrounded by mesoderm. Here, true coelom means the space which is present in between two mesoderm layers. That is called as a true coelom. But here, coelom like a structure is there, but this coelom is not surrounded by two mesoderm layers. Only one mesoderm layer is there. This mesoderm layer is present below the body wall. Gut wall is not surrounded by mesoderm. So, this type of coelom is called as a pseudocoelom. The animal which are having pseudocoelom, they are called as a pseudocoelomates. This pseudocoelomates put under the subdivision Pseudocoelomata. This pseudocoelom is derived or formed from blastocele during the developmental stages. In this Pseudocoelomata, one phylum is there. That phylum is called as a Nematoda. Or Asci-helminthes. In Pseudocoelomata, in between body wall and gut wall, a empty place is there, cavity is there here, but this cavity is not surrounded by two mesoderm layers. Only one mesoderm layer is there. This mesoderm layer is present inside the body wall. The gut wall is not surrounded by mesoderm. This is a coelom like a structure, but it is not a true coelom. True coelom means the space which is present in between two mesoderm layer, that is called as a true coelom. But here pseudocoelom is there. This pseudocoelom derived from the blastocele. Next then, here one example phylum there. That phylum included Nematoda. Next, Kcjc. In Kcjc, the true coelom is there. But this true coelom is formed by splitting of the mesoderm. So, this is a ectoderm and endoderm. In between ectoderm and endoderm, one cell is there. This cell form. This is a ectoderm. This is a endoderm. In between ectoderm, one cell is modified. Mesentoblastic cell. This cell is divided and form a mesoderm strip. This mesoderm strip slit longitudinally and form two layers. One layer is occupied inside the body wall. Another layer is occupied outside the gut wall. So, here the body cavity is present in between two mesoderm layer. This is called as a true coelom. This true coelom is formed by splitting of the mesoderm. splitting of the mesoderm. That's why this subdivision is called as a schizocilometa. This is a true coelom. This true coelom is formed by splitting of the mesoderm. So one layer is occupied inside the body wall, another layer is occupied outside the body wall. This is a parietal layer, this is a visceral layer. In between parietal layer and visceral layer, body cavity is there. That body cavity is a true coelom. This true coelom is formed by splitting of the mesoderm. So it is called as a schizocilom. In schizocilometa, phylum Annelida, arthropoda and mollusca are included. In schizocilometa, phylum Annelida, phylum Arthropoda and phylum Mollusca are included. This is about protostomia. Next then, here deuterostomia, division deuterostomia. In this deuterostomia, the blastophore is modified as anus. Next here, in deuterostomia, only one subdivision is there. Only one subdivision is there. That is called as a enterocoelometa. Enterocoelometa. Division deuterostomia. In deuterostomia, the blastophore is modified as anus. Next, in this deuterostomia, only one subdivision is there. That subdivision is called as a enterocoelometa. In this enterocoelometa, true coelom is there. This true coelom is formed from the out pouches of archenteron. This is archenteron. This is archenteron. This archenteron surrounded by the mesoderm. This mesoderm comes pouch-like structures. This pouch gets separated from archenteron, and the cavities which are present in this pouches united and form a coelom. That coelom is called as a enterocoelom. The animals which are having enterocoelom, they are called as a enterocoelomates. These enterocoelomates included under subdivision enterocoelometa. In this enterocoelometa, phylum Echinodermata, phylum Hemichordata, phylum Chordata included. This is the outline classification of Kingdom-Animalia. Phylum Porifera, general characters and classification. Next, phylum Porifera. Porifera means pore-bearing animals. Pore-bearing animals. They are generally called as sponges. Because the body looks like a sponge. That's why these animals generally called as sponges. Next, the name Porifera coined by Robert E. Grant. The name Porifera was coined by Robert E. Grant. Next then, they are primitive multicellular animals. Multicellular animals. They are primitive and multicellular animals. Next then, here in these animals, cellular grade metazoan is there. Cellular grade body organization is there. Body organization is there. Here the body is made up of with different types of cells. These cells are loosely aggregated. Here tissues are not formed. So this type of body organization is called as a cellular grade body organization is there. Next then, most of them are marine. But some are freshwater animals. For example, spongilla is a freshwater sponge. So the name porifera coined by Robert E. Grant. They are primitive and multicellular animals, but tissues are not formed here. Only the body is made up of different types of cells. These cells are aggregated loosely. Next, this type of body organization is called as cellular grade body organization is there. Next, most of them are marine. Some are freshwater. For example, spongilla. Next here, most of them are asymmetrical animals. Symmetry is absent here. In some radial symmetry is present. Next then, some are solitary. Some are colonial form. Some live individually, single. Some live as a group. So the animals which are live individually, they are called as a solitary. The animals which live as a groups, they are called as a colonial form. All are sessile. Sessile means here locomotion is absent. They can't move one place to another place. So that type of animals are called as a sessile or sedimentary animals. All are sessile animals. Next then, here the body wall have two layers. On outer layer, that is called as a pinacoderm. The inner layer is called as a choanoderm. Pinacoderm and choanoderm. In between pinacoderm and choanoderm, one gelatinous layer is there, that is called as a mesoheel. Mesoheel is there. Next, the body wall having two layers. The outer layer is called as a pinacoderm. The inner layer is called as a choanoderm. In between pinacoderm and choanoderm, a gelatinous membrane is there, that is called as a mesoheel. Next then, in these animal, one peculiar system, special system is there. That system is called as a canal system is there. Canal system is there. Next, on the surface of the body, so many pores are there. So many pores are there. These pores are called as ostia. These ostia open into a body cavity. This body cavity is called as a spongocele. Spongocele. This spongocele open out through a pore. That pore is called as a aciculum. In this animal, body wall divided into two layers. One is the outer layer is called as a pinnacoderm. The inner layer is called as a choanoderm. In between pinnacoderm and choanoderm, one gelatinous membrane is there. This gelatinous membrane is called as a mesohyl. In this animal, one special system is present, that is called as a canal system. On the surface of the sponges, minute pores are there. They are called as a ostia. These ostia open into the body cavity. This body cavity is called as a spongocele. This spongocele is open out through a pore. That pore is called as a aciculum. So the water currents enter into the spongocele through the ostia. Next, this water current goes out through the aciculum. This is a canal system. This canal system used for gathering food, nutrition, gathering food. Next, exchange of gases, that means respiration, and also it is used to eliminate the nitrogen waste materials, for that is called as excretion. Totally, the functions of the canal system is for nutrition, respiration, and excretion. This is about a canal system. In this animal, nutrition is a halozoic nutrition is occur. Halozoic means take a solid type food material and digest them inside the cells. So the halozoic nutrition is occur here. Halozoic nutrition is there. Next, in this animal, skeletal system is there. This skeletal system is formed by spicules. In this animal, one skeletal system is there. This skeletal system is formed by spicules. These spicules formed by in some calcium carbonate, in some silicon dioxide, siliceous, in some spongin fibers. In this animal, one skeleton is there. This skeleton is made up of with spicules. In some, these spicules are formed by calcium carbonate. In some, silicon dioxide, siliceous. In some, spongin fibers are there. Next, then, in this animal, there is no sensory and nerve cells are there. So they lack coordination among the cell. In this animal, sensory cells and nerve cells are absent. So they lack coordination among the cells. So they are hermaphrodites. That means both male and female reproductive organs are present in one individual. That is called as a hermaphrodite nature or monoecious. That means in a single individual, both male and female reproductive organs are present. Next, internal fertilization is occur. Next, in this animal, reproduction is occur by asexual reproduction. Reproduction is occur in asexually and sexually. Asexual reproduction occur by budding and fragmentation. Next, budding. Next then, sexual reproduction is occur the formation of gametes. Formation of the gametes are formed in sexual reproduction. Next then, cleavage is haloblastic cleavage. Haloblastic cleavage is occur. That means the cleavages are occur total zygote. Complete zygote is undergone division. Cleavages means embryonic, the divisions which are occur in zygote during embryonic stages, they are called as cleavages. So the cleavages are occur in total zygote, that type of haloblastic, complete haloblastic cleavages occur. Next, during developmental stages, some larval forms are seen here, that is parenchyma larva, amphiblastula larva, like that occur. Next then, here they show regeneration. Regeneration capacity is more in this animal. These are some important characters of these animals. Next, phylum Porifera. Phylum Porifera means pore-bearing animals. They are generally called as sponges. The name Porifera was coined by Robert E. Grant. They are primitive and multicellular animals. They are cellular grade metazoans. Most of them are marine. Some are freshwater. For example, spongilla. Next, most of them asymmetrical animals. Some are radial symmetrical animals. Next, some are solitary. Some are colonial form. Next, all are sessile. Next then, the body wall. This body wall having two layers. One is a pinnacle, second one is a coenodome. Pinnacle is the outermost layer, coenodome is a inner layer. In between pinnacle and coenodome, one gelatinous membrane is there, that is called as a mesohele. In this animal, one special system is there. That system is called as a canal system. On the surface of these sponges, so many minute pores are there. They are called as a ostia or inhalent pores. Through this ostia, water enter into the body cavity. This body cavity is called as a spongocele. This spongocele open out through aciculum. This is an excellent pore. So the function of the canal system for gathering food, that is nutrition. Next, exchange of gases, that is respiration. Next, elimination of the nitrogen waste materials, that is excretion. Totally, the functions of the canal system: nutrition, respiration, and excretion. Next then, here halozoic type nutrition is occur. Next, intracellular digestion is occur. Next, in this animal, one skeletal system is there. This skeletal system is formed by spicules. These spicules are made by, in some calcium carbonate, in some silicon dioxide, that is siliceous, in some spongin fibers. In these animals, nerves and sensory cells are absent. That's why they lack coordination among the cells. Here, reproduction is occur in two methods. One is asexual reproduction and sexual reproduction. Asexual reproduction is occur by means of budding. Next, sexual reproduction. In sexual reproduction, gametes are formed. Next, internal fertilization is occur. Next, haloblastic cleavage is occur in the zygote. Next, then, during development is indirect development. During development, larval forms are appear. They are parenchyma larva and amphiblastula larva, and these sponges shows a high regeneration capacity. These are some important characters of phylum Porifera. Next, classification classification of phylum Porifera. The classification of Porifera done by the character of the spicules. In some, the spicules is made up of with a calcium carbonate. In some, spicules are made up of with silicon dioxide or siliceous. In some, the spicules are made up of by spongin fibers. So, this phylum Porifera further classified into three classes. One is Kcjc. Second one is a hexadactyla. Next demospongia. Hexactinellida. Calcarea. First class is a Calcarea. Second class is a Hexactinellida. Third class is a Demospongia. First, the general characters of Calcarea. This Calcarea animals live in shallow sea water. Next, then they are some are sessile. All are sessile. Calcareans all are sessile. Some are solitary. Some are colonial form. Now, the animals which are included class Calcarea, all are sessile. Some are solitary. Some are colonially. Next, then here the spicules are made up of with calcium carbonate. Next, here Calcarea, all sessile, some are solitary, some are colonial form. The spicules are made up of with calcium carbonate. Next, then example, Sycon. In Calcarea, they live in a shallow sea water. Sessile, solitary, some are colonially. The spicules are made up of calcium carbonate. Example, Sycon. Next, Hexactinellida. These animals live in a deep sea water. Here only they are solitary animals only here. Next, here spicules are made up of with siliceous silicon dioxide. Siliceous spicules are there. Siliceous spicules. They are six-rayed spicules. Six rays are there. Six-rayed spicules are there. These animals looks like a glass. That's why these are called as a glass sponges. So, the animals which are included under class Hexactinellida, they live in a deep sea water. They are solitary. Here, spicules are made up of silicon dioxide. Siliceous spicules are there. Six-rayed spicules are there. These animals looks like a glass. Animal is very transparent. That's why they are called as a glass sponges. Example, Hyalonema. Next, Euplectella. Hyalonema and Euplectella. Hyalonema is called as a glass rope sponge. glass rope sponge. Euplectella, Venus flower basket. Venus flower basket. These are example for hexoctinida. Hexoctinida animals live in a deep sea water. They are solitary. Next, here specules are made up of with siliceous specules are there. Next, here the animal look like as a glass. They are very transparent animals, so they are called as a glass sponges. For example, Hyalonema is called as a glass rope sponge. Next, Euplectella is called as a Venus flower basket. That is about Hexoctinellida. Next, Demospongia. These Demospongia live in a deep sea water. Most of them are marine. Some are here fresh water there. Fresh water. They are colonial form. They are a colonial form. Here solitary and colonial. Here only solitary. Here only colonial forms are there. Next, in these animals, the specule is made up of with five. Specules are made up of with spongin fibers. Spongin fibers. In some spongin fibers, in some both spongin fibers and siliceous specules are there. In some specules are absent. Next, Demospongia, they live in a deep sea water. They are colonial form. Some are live in a fresh water. For example, Spongilla. Spongilla is a freshwater sponge. Next, then they are colonial form. Here the specules are made up of the spongin fiber. In some the specules are made up of both spongin fibers and siliceous. In some specules are absent. Next, example Euspongia, Spongella, Clio, Euspongia and Spongia. These are the example for Demospongia. This is the classification of porifera. The classification of porifera done based on the formation of specules. The phylum porifera further classified into three classes. One is Calcarea, second one is Hexoctinellida, third one is Demospongia. Next, Calcarea, they live in shallow sea water. They are sessile. Some are solitary, some are colonial form. Here specules are made up of with calcium carbonate. Next example, Sycon, Leucoselenium, like that. Next, Grantia, like that. Next, Hexoctinellida, they live in a deep sea water. They are solitary. They live in a deep sea water. They are solitary animals. Here, specules are made up of with silicon dioxide. Next, the body, specules are 6 rayed specules are there here. Next, the body is very transparent, look like a glass. That's why these are generally called as a glass sponges. Example, Hyalonema, called as a glass rope sponge. Next, Euplectella, that is Venus flower basket. Next, then Demospongia, freshwater. Demospongia, they live in deep sea water. They are some are live in fresh water. For example, Spongilla, they are colonial form. Here specules are made up of with spongin fibers. In some spongin fibers and some siliceous specules are there. Next, then in some specules are absent. For example, Euspongia and Spongilla. Spongilla is a freshwater sponge. This is a both sponge. Euspongia. Next Spongilla. Spongilla is called as a freshwater sponge. This is the classification of porifera.